Hi there. In this video I'm going to combine two modified Pilates exercises to really good effect. We're going to be modifying the Pilates Hip Twist, which is a combination of hip abduction and external rotation. And then there's the modified dumb waiter, which is basically external rotation of the glenohumeral joint. You need a couple of things to help with this one. A soft ball. If you don't have one of those, you can use a big rolled up ball of socks or toilet roll or something, and that goes between your heels. We'll come back to that in just a moment. You're also going to need a resistance band. I'm also sitting on a Swiss ball because it gives you extra core stability, awareness and feedback, but also you're going to be getting an element of strengthening which wouldn't be there if you're sitting on something solid, although you can do this sitting on a normal chair if you don't have one available. Now your resistance band goes underneath your thighs, pretty close to the knees, and then it comes up over the top and crosses over. So you make this X shape, and then you hold the ends of the band between the index finger and the thumb, and you can just grip that there. So the point being here is that if you try and elicit an external rotation force and you're not thinking about the legs, the knees get pulled inwards. So the beauty of this combo is that by resisting with the legs against any external rotation force, not only are you using the muscles which promote external rotation and a little bit of retraction of that shoulder, but you're simultaneously using the opposite side hip to resist. And that's a pattern of muscle coordination which happens quite a lot in natural human movement. And so by using this, I suppose this myofascial sling which operates between one shoulder and the opposite hip, you can get a really nice complementary pairing of these exercises. There are lots of different approaches you can take here, but what we want to do to start with is to make sure the feet are mirroring each other and then squeeze the heels together. And this will cause the feet to generate a kind of external rotation force, which also complements what's going to be happening up in the hips. So give the heels a good squeeze and see if you can keep that switched on all the way through. Sit up nice and tall, neutral spine of course, and already with that heel squeeze and that sitting tall, you should feel activation of some deeper hip muscles. For the level one, what I'd probably suggest is keeping the legs still at this point and just resisting, taking a breath in and then breathe out to perform an external rotation of one shoulder and then come back with control. Now as you're doing your external rotation, your elbows should stay pinned to the side of your body, because a lot of times the body will want to cheat and then just simply move the arm out of the way, and that isn't the correct movement. Also make sure your wrists stay fixed, pointing in a straight line from the elbow to the middle fingertip, so you're not deviating the wrist joint as a false movement. So you've got that nice strong wrist and you're externally rotating the shoulder and keeping the legs still, and you should feel the tension on the band increase and the effort needed through the opposite hip increase as well to keep still. Then we can try the leg movement. Again, keep the ball squeezed between your heels, keep the arm still for this second variation. You're going to hip twist one leg, and I can feel how as I'm doing that, it wants to pull that hand across, but the static control in that opposite shoulder is matching that. So you just alternate from side to side. Again, if you can, try and keep the ball squeezed as you're doing that movement. You probably notice a bit more of the legs. It's more challenging to keep the Swiss ball still. That's why I like using it for this exercise. There's a lot to think about, a bit of equipment needed, but you can get a really good overall combination. Now the final level I would suggest would be doing opposite arm and leg. So squeeze that ball, sit up nice and tall, remain still, take a breath in, breathe out to perform your combo movement, opposite hip, opposite arm, and then coming back in, and then seeing if you can do the other side. Now it's one of those exercise combos which is a bit like patting your head and rubbing your stomach. You have to actually really think about what you're trying to do here, particularly if you're remaining consistent on that ball squeeze as well. But when you get the hang of it, you're going to be getting really good access to deep hip stabilizing muscles, core stability on the ball, and then tapping also into that functional movement pattern between opposite shoulder and opposite hip. So this combination I think works really well on a number of fronts, but it may very well test your coordination, but see how you get on.